magandang araw po sa inyong lahat.
Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening sa inyong lahat.
Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Ako nga pala si Jean Kenneth M. Ilagan.
Ako si Louis Benedict Ignacio.
I am Albert Alvin H. De Jesus.
This is Dr. Giselle Barion.
This is Telma Maranya.
This is Attorney Dwight Ramos.
I am Dr. Evelyn Songko and I am happy to be with you.
Ikinagagalak ko makasama kayong lahat sa isa na namang makabuluhang kwentuhan dito sa Bridges.
Excited naman ako sa introduction mo. And I'm really so excited to be here.
It's really my pleasure to be invited here because this is a very good platform po. Not to be only bridging faith, hope, and love, but at the same time bridging the bond between the alumni and their alma mater.
Kaya tayo merong Santa Cruzan as a culminating activity of our devotional practices to the Blessed Mother, because all devotions to the Blessed Mother should always lead to Jesus.
Ang mga popular na issues sa mga Pilipino, no? Yung mga may kinalaman sa sikura, mga economic issues, trabaho, inflation. Pero kahit ganyan pa, makikita na ang mga Pilipino nagbibigay ng attention sa mga political issues gaya ng West Philippine Sea issue.
We need our future generations to meet their own needs without sacrificing also yung mga needs natin na nararanasan natin ngayon. So we need this clean air, malinis na hangin, malinis na tubig, yung lupa natin hindi pa poison, then okay pa yung mga karagatan natin, okay pa yung mga kabundukan natin.
O kaya naman dati maayos ang pagsasamahan ng mag-asawa, bigla na lang may nangyayari na hindi nila inaakala at yung kanilang family bond humihina. Pati yung relasyon nila sa Diyos biglang humihina.
I love you. I love Jesus, Holy Spirit, and Mama Mary. Thank you and God bless.
The PRR is not out there to, boost taxpayers. Kapag nalugi yung taxpayers, hindi mo babawasan yung magbabayad ng tax.
First and foremost, we embrace change. We need to cultivate our passion for learning and to be flexible based sa Tomasian values ng commitment, competence, and compassion.
Go back to your core. When things are really, really tough, when you're going through transitions, when you're going through changes, go back to who you are as a person and as a leader. And at the same time, yung core values natin as Tomasians dati, perfect and parate as a guide for me. Always have to be competent, you always have to be committed, and more importantly, the compassion side of it is going to be your edge in any kind of workplace that you're going to be working.
Happy anniversary to Bridges! Here at Bridges, we build bridges of faith, bridges of hope, and bridges of love.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you are around the world. It's Tuesday, and welcome once again to Bridges, brought to you by the UST Alumni Association Incorporated. The revival of the Gosu tradition in central villages in Pampanga signifies a hopeful return to the cultural practices that unite Kapampangans in prayer and remembrance. It is cherished practice of singing hymns and prayers for saints and souls. It is just one of Pampanga's rich traditions that reflect the deep-rooted values of family and remembrance during All Souls Day. In this week's episode of Bridges, let's learn more about Pampanga's unique traditions, practices, and observances, reflecting the community's deep respect for their traditions and the memories of those who have passed. Ako po si Andy Alvis, isang Tomasino, UST High School, UST College of Science, BS Psychology, and I'm also with Salingawi Dance Troupe. Ayan, dyan po nag-umpisa ang aking career sa Salingawi, not because of my college education. Anyway, hindi po yun ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Just a bit of intro about myself. Anyway po, before we move on with the show, friends, please don't forget to like and share our show and subscribe to our UST Alumni Community YouTube channel. Our episode today is sponsored by the Tomasinong Kapampangan and our ever safe drinking water, BioWater Purified Drinking Water. For our episode today, we have with us a very special guest, Dr. Mildred Crisostomo. And of course, she's a Tomasian. She obtained her degree of Doctor of Philosophy, major in literature in 2016. The concentration of her work is on linguistics, language acquisition, and language teaching, translation, and editing of text, the teaching of literature and language, and literature research. She is not only an educator, but is also an author of language and literature books, an innovator, and a researcher as well. She is currently the director of the Office of International Partnerships and Programs at the Don Honore Ventura State University. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Mildred Crisostomo.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Hi Mildred, kumusta na?
Hello, Sir Andy. Maya po. Mabuti po. Good afternoon.
Kami
I am
po
blessed to be here.
parehong Kapampangan, pero today magtatagalog po kami dahil ang mga Tagalog at English, Mildred, no? Kasi ang mga nanonood sa atin ay mga Tomasino and other people from different parts of the world. Bumati ka muna, Mildred.
Again, good afternoon to everyone. Just like what I have said a while ago, I feel so blessed to be here on Bridges.
Ayan. Mildred, please tell us more about yourself. You know, apart from what I already mentioned.
I come from a full-blooded Kapampangan parents and family, Sir Andy, and I am proud to be one. I am also a proud Thomasian. I read and write in 3 languages, Kapampangan, Filipino, and English. I'm a teacher. In fact, even now that I am a director, I still believe that I am a teacher.
Wow. Yan. Pagiging guro, yan ang isa sa pinaka-noble na profession. Anyway, ang susunod po na tanong natin kay Mildred is, paano siya naging interesado sa literature?
All right. To me, language and literature are my identity. I need not really say a lot of things about myself just to introduce who I am, knowing that the way I use a specific language or the kind of literature I read and write can just do the job for me. Specifically, just like what I have said, I read and write in Kapampangan also. My father, by the way, is a poet. My late uncle was a poet laureate. That pushed me to study further language and literature, and at the same time write and publish my own poems.
Oh, napakaganda. Ako, late na lang ako na-interesado sa Kapampangan literature dahil nga, ayun, alam mo ito, dahil yun ang trabaho ko ngayon, mostly music and theater in Kapampangan and English. Anyway, moving on, lahat ng mga nag-graduate o nag-aral sa UST alam ito. Dahil, alam mo na, isang malaki at malaking campus, malalaking mga building, luma ang mga building, ang daming statues. Paggabi, ang daming mga lugar na madilim, maraming puno na nakakatakot. Kung minsan medyo nakakapanindig balahibo yung experience, lalo na pag may mga schedule ka na panggabi. Mildred, meron ka bang mga experiences? Kasi ang graduate school panggabi, di ba? Marami dyan panggabi or weekends, correct? So, please tell us kung may mga experiences ka na medyo nakakatakot, nakakatindig balahibo, medyo uneasy feeling.
Thank you, Sir Andy. Kung nakakatakot, as in literal na nakakatakot, The truth is wala. Kasi po yung graduate school namin noon, I mean lahat ng subjects namin nasa TARC building lang kami. It's our graduate school building. So doon lahat, from morning till night, doon namin tinitake lahat ng subjects namin. And kung kailangan naming pumunta ng library, doon lang sa main library natin sa Benavides building. Yun usually ang ruta ko, yung TARC building at saka yung UST main library natin. Wala talagang nakakatakot kasi siguro excited ako na maging Thomasian. Gustong-gusto ko sa mag-aral ako ng PhD sa UST. Basta excited ako, basta dapat dito ako mag-aaral. Kaya siguro kung meron man yung mga kwento-kwento dati na yung ang tatanda ng building, ang dami mga statues and all, baka yun natabunan ng excitement ko. Kasi nga, yun, every Saturday, looking forward talaga ako na pumasok.
Oh, ay, nako. Ako naman dahil 1 taon ako doon, parang nagsawa ako, 8 years, sobra. Pero ako, opposite naman ako. Ang dami kong kinatatakutan doon kasi nga parating panggabi ako doon. Kasi nga, working student ako, kasi nga dahil performer ako, so I'd get broken schedules. Tapos, rehearsals namin pag sa Lingawi, panggabi. Rehearsals ng mga theater, plays, musicals, or dance, puro gabi. Tapos, I was at the main building for 4 years, kaya medyo nakakatakot. Pero may mas nakakatakot pa sa mga multo dyan. Ang mga professor na nambabagsak.
True.
Ay, naku, talaga super nakakatrauma yung mga teacher dyan kasi Diyos ko talaga. At eto, hindi alam ng mga tao to, pero may isa akong bagsak dyan. Ano yun ang tawag doon? Anatomy ba yun? Basta ganun. Bumagsak talaga, grabe. First year college, nakakatrauma yun. Anyway, ano naman ang pinakagusto mo na parte ng sabi mo nga wala namang nakakatakot, no? And you said, you really look forward to coming to school. What is your favorite part of coming to school in UST?
It's the university library. Kasi noong college ako tsaka sa masters ko, lahat ng pinapangarap kong libro, nakita ko sa UST library. Kaya kapag may time talaga kami, like my professor would ask us to proceed to the library instead, ako ahakutin ko lahat ng mga librong gusto ko, language and literature and even culture, books, ilalagay ko lahat sa mesa. Talagang puspusan ang pagbabasa ko. Kaya hindi lang yung pagpasok sa klase every Wednesday or Friday or Saturday for my PhD, pati yung pagpunta sa library. So feeling ko, kapag nasa UST library ako, ay nako, mukhang totoong Thomasian ka kapag pinasok mo yung main library na ito. Kapag may picture ka sa harap ng building na yon, totoo kang Thomasian. Kaya yun ang pinakagusto ko talaga na part sa UST.
Nagigilty tuloy ako. Grabe. Tinyo mga kaibigan, no? Siya proud na proud talaga yung stay niya sa UST. Library pa lang. Ako talaga parang kasi siguro nga, dahil tagal-tagal ko doon, 8 years, parang I took it for granted na, taking a picture in the building, going to the library. Ayun. Kasi, siguro, bilib ako sa'yo kasi ang lalim at ang ganda ng memories mo sa UST. But I had good memories too. Anyway, moving on. The province of Pampanga is known for its wood carvers, red clay potters, blacksmiths, giant lanterns, and exquisite food, particularly, and the last one. It is always a feast even in ordinary birthday celebrations. Of course, I'm talking about Pampanga like it's the most beautiful place in the world. That's why I retired here. The Pampangans also have rich customs and cultural traditions and rituals governing rites of passage and for the dead that lives on and still being observed. Some of these have stopped during the pandemic because of health restrictions, but we find them now slowly being revived in some places in the province. As a Kapampangan, what are the most distinct traditions, practices, observations that we have, especially during this month of November, and related to our beloved dead people. And what is this so-called Gosu tradition? Manggosu, Gosu? Mildred.
Yes, Manggosu or Pamanggosu. In the province, it's not only during December that we get to hear carolers. Correct, Sir Andy?
Yeah.
In fact, even during All Saints Day.
Mm.
Ang totoo nito, ako mismo, when I was in the elementary, naging singer ako ng Gosu.
Oh.
I had my own time singing Gosu. Sumasama-sama ako noon sa nanay ko, sa mga kapatid ko, sa mga kapitbahay namin. So, during All Saints Day, ito yung tumatak talaga sa akin na parte ng tradition natin. Yun nga, surprisingly, we hear singers or chanters of Gosu during All Saints Day.
So, anong mga kinakanta nyo? Mga love song ba to? O mga disco, gano'n? Anong kinakanta nyo sa habang nanggogoso? Bakit physically, what do you do? And where do you go? Who do you sing for? Kinakanta nyo yung mga patay? Maririnig ba kayo ng mga patay na yon? Babangon ba yon pag maganda yung boses nyo? O pag pangit ang boses, lalabas siya, gano'n?
Okay, those are very good questions, Sir Andy. Well, Gosu is a hymn, in fact, specifically for saints. I read one article written by Sir Robbie Tangtingko of Holy Angel University. He even elucidated it further that Pamanggosu is one way to ask for saints' intercession to grant eternal peace to the household's departed members. I grew up in Magalang. My family are devoted Catholics. Growing up, I remember, just like what I have said, joining my mother, sister, and other neighbors doing a goso. Week before All Saints Day, ako lang ang pinakabata, and I even memorized all the songs during those times. I remember after each song, we need to stop and pray before singing the next. In return, the family will give us money or food. Ito nga ang medyo exciting part ng Pamanggoso sa atin sa Pampanga. Pag hindi ka binigyan ng pagkain o kaya pera ng ginugustuhan mo o yung bahay na tinapatan mo, kukuha ka ng itlog sa silong nila o kaya naman ng manok kasi alam mo naman yung mga manok tahimik na sa mga oras na iyon. Kukuha ka ng manok, magdarakip ka ng manok na hindi naman nila ikagagalit. And a lot of Kapampangans believe that it's our own way of doing trick or treat. Yung parang tayo, before pa naging popular yung trick or treat, naipasok na natin yon sa sa Pamanggoso, sa panggogoso natin. Kaya up to this time it's being practiced, ginagawa pa ng iilang mga municipalities in the province. Pero kanina nga tinignan ko yung mga existing videos ng actual na panggogoso. Na-realize ko iba yon sa goso ng Magalang. Iba yung tono ng pagkanta namin sa Magalang. Doon sa nakita kong video ng goso na ginagawa probably in other municipalities in the province.
Wow! You know, I'm Kapampangan and I am a cultural worker. And hearing it straight from the horse's mouth, from a person who has experienced this, kasi matagal ko nang naririnig yan, manggogoso. Kala ko yung mga manggagancho, ganun, mga manluloko sa So, oo, imbis na nagaano sila, naglalasing at tapos nananakot ng mga tao, ganun. Kala ko yun ang explanation nun. So I didn't realize how beautiful it was. So it is a song for the saints.
Yes.
And then asking the saints to intercede for your loved ones.
Yes.
That they will go to heaven if they are in purgatory.
Correct.
And then the reason why you go from house to house is so that you can also pray for their departed ones. Correct?
Correct.
And then dahil ang ganda-ganda, di ba? Ang ganda-ganda ng ng tradisyon, napaka ang bait ng mga kapitbahay, ang ganda ng motibo ng tradisyon. Kaya lang may konting twist talaga, kailangan talaga kukunin mo yung mga manok nila pag hindi ka binigyan ng pera, ganun, no? Saan kaya nanggaling yon? Bakit kailangan may kailangan kalokohan talagang isisingit ang mga Kapampangan dyan? Kasi kukunin mo yung itlog ng mga manok o kaya yung manok. Bakit ganun?
Sir Andy, before that, kung sa Christmas carols, 'di ba, usually parang namimili na ngayon yung mga carolers ng bahay na pupuntahan, natatapatan. Usually yung mga malalaking bahay, 'di ba? Kasi
Mayaman.
mukhang marami or malaki ang ibibigay nun. For Goso, it's not like that.
Oh.
Usually, kung halimbawa sa isang barangay, lahat ng bahay na yon dadaanan mo.
Oh, okay.
Lahat ng bahay dadaanan mo kasi ang nasa isip mo, mayroong sigurado dito na may patay sila. I mean, kahit na yung forefathers, kahit na yung mga grandparents na or parents or probably children, meron at meron. So you don't want to miss the opportunity to pray for them. Kaya ang ganda ng purpose ng Goso na yung intention, yung intention ng mga nanggogoso, yung mismong intention ng tradition, which I believe up to this time remain the same. The purpose of those who chant and the real purpose of the tradition itself remain up to this time. And I like it. Maganda siyang tradition ng mga Kapampangan.
Really good.
Yeah, yung doon naman, saan kaya nanggaling yan? Bakit kailangan kumuha ng itlog? Parang it's a sort of punishment. We pray for we sing for the saints so they would intercede for your departed loved ones, but you don't give us something in return. O sige, eto yung punishment. Parang ganun, di ba Kapampangan are known to be, di ba? Yung nag-i-insert talaga sila ng mga ganoon sa
may twist talaga parati.
May twist. Sir Andy, one more thing. Kasi kanina nga, nabanggit ko sa'yo, ako mismo nanggoso ako when I was in the elementary. Yung mismong line, yung natatandaan kong line, ang sabi niya, dito, Kapampangan siya. I can sing it anyway. It's a two-liner part of Goso naman. Kung ano, sabi niya, Ike po keti bilimi, eke po talagang pobre. Ding limus, ake kong ibye, karing metela idikilmi. Kami po, sa kalagayan namin, hindi talaga kami mahirap. Ang ibibigay ninyo sa amin ay ibabalik namin sa mga patay because you pray for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, even yung pagbibigay ng ganoon. Yeah.
Ang ganda kasi, marami sa ating mga kababayan, umaasa sa mga kaibigan o mga kapitbahay o sa komunidad para sa kanilang mga spiritual life. You know, makikita natin yan pag may mga namatay. Makikita mo may serenata pagdating ng last night ng burol, no? Parang the entire community, lahat ng choirs magsasama-sama yan. Pupunta yan, I don't know kung okay, tama yan, kapareho yan sa iba't ibang cultures, sa ibang mga probinsya. Pero dito sa Pampanga, syempre, dahil gambling capital kami ng walang mapipikuan. Gambling capital kami ng Pilipinas. Maraming sugal dito. Nagiging floating casino yan, yung mga lamay, lalo sa mga baryo. Number 1. Number 2, pagdating ng last night ng lamay, sobrang dami, parang party yan. Grabe, ang dami-daming tao. Lahat yung mga choir, may serenata yan. Parang may concert. Parang it is a serenade for the dead. And also, parang masaya ang paglalakbay niya siguro, no? I think that's the only way I see it. Kasi talaga may concert. Talaga may electric guitar dyan. Tapos yung mga babae nagbe-belt, pero yung mga style nila, mga Imelda Papin, Eva Eugenio style, ganyan, mga lalakas na mga boses. Tapos yung mga choir, mga El Shaddai, mga charismatic, yan, kakanta yan, ang dami. Lalo na pag member ng community sa mga churches, yung mga namatayan. Ganyan. Pero karamihan talaga may ganon. Is it the same sa Magalang o sa Bacolor?
Sa Magalang, hindi ganoon. Yung walang para bang serenade na ino-offer sa patay.
Mm-mm.
Pero sabi mo nga, Sir Andy, yung sa, 'di ba, yung last night ng patay sa atin, para bang it's a grand celebration. Yung lahat, hindi lang kamag-anak, lahat ng tao sa barangay talagang pupunta, paying their last respect, no? Mukhang ganun naman talaga sa lahat. Yeah.
So, iba yung tradisyon namin dito sa Santa Rita.
Mm.
Talagang ano dito, talagang buhay na buhay. Ganun.
Mukhang dahil nandyan ka.
Ah? Ay,
Mukhang
hindi.
dahil nandyan ka.
Wala akong kinalaman dito.
Okay.
Siguro tanungin natin itong kasama ko. Si Squashy. Anyway, alright. So ngayon, nabalitaan ko sa Kabalanchan, dito sa Bacolor, just a few days ago, actually, sisend natin yan sa at Facebook page ng ating Tomasinong Kapampangan, yung mga clips kung paano gugoso yung mga community dito sa Bacolor, Pampanga. Yan yung community ni Dr. Salve Olalia sa Bacolor, Pampanga. And they were able to film a few of the traditions. Medyo interesting din. Okay. Anyway, so is there an instance na pinapasok kayo sa bahay, tapos papakainin kayo or bibigyan kayo ng soft drinks? Ganon?
Yes. Opo. Maliban sa bibigyan ng pera, kaya naman bibigyan ng food, minsan they will invite you inside the house at papakainin po kayo.
That's nice naman. Anyway, okay. Mag-move na tayo, no? Okay, dito, ang dami nating traditions for the dead. At naisip ko kanina lang na lahat na to sumikat sa Pampanga. You know, yung mga pagko-concert sa patay, kinakantahan yung mga patay, tapos pag All Saints Day, pinagkakanta rin yung mga santo para tulungan ang mga patay at ang mga naiwanan. Ngayon, we also know that the capital, the coffin capital of Pampanga, of the Philippines, is in Pampanga, Santo Tomas.
Correct.
So, ano kaya ang relevance nun? Ano kaya ang significance na dito nauso ang paggawa ng ataol? Kasi my God, di ba? Can you imagine? The whole town. It is the smallest town in Pampanga, ang Santo Tomas. Pangalawa is Santa Rita. But the smallest town is Santo Tomas. At dyan po ginagawa karamihan ng mga coffin sa buong Pilipinas. Actually, nung COVID po, talagang hindi na sila natutulog. Dahil nag-overtime sila dahil nadami pong namamatay nung COVID, no po. So, ayun. Ano ang insights mo dito, Mildred?
Oh yes, Sir Andy. As the casket capital of the Philippines, Santo Tomas' reason to carry on with this tradition, you won't believe this one, is more than economic. So the reason is more than economic. People from Santo Tomas believed that the quality of casket they make give honor to the dead and to their families. So they really make sure that they do their craft excellently because, according to them, I read one article about this casket making in Santo Tomas, and according to these artisans, even though they do not know or they're not familiar with the dead or the families of these departed loved ones, they make sure that they give the best or the quality casket to them because it's a tradition that is so cherished. It's a tradition that is so meaningful, and it's one way by which they could really pay a meaningful tribute for departed loved ones.
Next question. Nagpa-picture ka na ba sa loob ng isang casket?
Nagpa-picture na ba ako sa loob ng?
Isang casket?
No, not yet.
Kasi sa Tomas, nung isang minsan sa isang event nila, dahil nga one town, one product, kaya one product nila is
Casket.
casket. And yung pangalawa ay mga paso, yung kanilang pottery.
Yes.
So dahil nga pinopromote nila yung mga gusto nila ma-experience ng tao habang buhay sila ang paano, pumasok sa loob ng casket. So naggawa sila ng kulay purple, fuchsia pink yata, fuchsia pink na taol na nakatayo. Tapos papasok ka. Ganun. Tapos,
Okay.
nakukunan ka nila ng picture.
Never tried.
Yung mga try eh. Baka maging comfortable ako, hindi na ako. Anyway. Okay. Siguro, dahil malakas ang faith nila, malakas ang faith nila sa Diyos, malakas ang pagmamahal nila sa kanilang mga mga yumao na. That's why, yung sinasabi mo na it's really their respect and love for the dead that made them get into this kind of business.
Correct. It's more than economic. Actually, it's not even the business side of casket making. It's really their commitment. Commitment to honor. Yeah.
Anyway, okay. May tawag tayo, okay, sa Maynila, ang tawag nila sa All Saints Day ay ang tawag dito, ano yun?
Todos los Santos.
Hindi Todos los Santos eh. Undas?
Undas.
Sa Kapampangan, ang tawag sa kanya ay daun. Directly, the meaning of daun is offer?
Offering, yeah.
Offering.
Or offering.
Bakit natin tinawag na daun ang All Saints Day natin, samantalang sa ibang lugar, sa Maynila, or sa Tagalog, undas? Sa atin is
daun.
Oo, an offering, daun. Please explain, Mildred.
Sometimes we even call it as dawon, not daun. It's dawon, no? Daun or dawon. Either way. Well, we do not really call it undas, though undas means honor or to give honor. But daun means offer or to give offering. We call it daun because it's so significant that it's the time of the year that we collectively offer prayers to saints and to our loved ones who went on to afterlife. Aside from prayers, we also offer flowers. We prepare food lavishly, light candles, and not only one, but a lot of candles and of different kinds at that. So the practice itself is an act of offering. The practice itself. Daun itself is an act of offering. So what we do during Daun is we offer. We do not only offer prayers, we offer flowers, we offer candles, food to family members, to visitors. So even in the past, if you'll read Sir Andy, our history, the word daun started from our ancestors, where during harvest season, right? During harvest season, they offer something to our nuno, so that we'll have a bountiful harvest. That's where the idea of daun came from.
Pwede bang yung mga yung mga kaaway ko, i-offer ko sa mga patay?
That calls for another episode.
Anyway, ayun. Pwede naman siguro. Anyway, wow. In a way, kasi minsan alam mo naman lahat tayo kung natatakot. Pag patay ang pinag-uusapan, natatakot tayo, di ba? Lalo na pag medyo, but it's now that we're talking about it, nagiging light pala, no? Pag when everything you do comes from love, no? Comes from respect and love and family traditions, no? Parang gumaganda yung ano. Kasi like di ba ang daming images of Halloween, no? Puro gory, puro nakakatakot. Pero now that we're talking about it, kasi unang-una tumasyan tayo, we had a really strong Catholic upbringing, Catholic education. I didn't realize na lahat ng mga traditions natin sa Pampanga, for the dead people, for All Saints Day, and for the departed ones, talagang ang cute-cute lang, touch lang ako kasi parang lahat gagawin natin to honor the dead, no? Wow, that's really something nice. Anyways,
Sir Andy,
yeah.
let me just add this one, yung daon. Alam mo ba sa amin sa Magalang, ang daon, tinatawag nilang panahon ng pagtatanan. Panahon ng pagtatanan. Kasi doon sa Magalang, kapag daon na or undas, ang daming nagtatanan. So, kinabukasan, mababalitaan mo November 2, ang daming nag-asawa. Nagsipag-asawa, nagtanan. So naisip ko, siguro as a literature major, naisip ko, well, that still falls under the canopy of daon. 'Di ba? Offering. Na yung babae, hindi lang, 'di ba? Pati yung sarili niya, ino-offer niya sa boyfriend. Yung lalaki, ino-offer din niya yung sarili niya sa girlfriend. So nagdaunan sila. Nagkaroon sila ng offering sa isa't isa. Kaya naisip ko, mukhang legit yun ha. Mukhang pasok pa rin siya sa meaning ng daon, which is offering or to offer. Kasi nga, nagtatanan. Maraming ganon. Kasi lumaki nga ako sa Magalang, maraming pagkakataon na ganoon. Na kinabukasan November 2, ang mababalitaan mo na lang, marami ang nagtanan.
Ikaw ba, Mildred, in-offer mo ba ang sarili mo nung November 1 sa...
No. But December.
Anyway, alam mo, it's funny that you're saying this kasi a few weeks ago, may nag-post sa Facebook na Facebook friend, sabi niya, mag-iilaw tayo sa mga patay, hindi kayo magpagligaw dyan at hindi kayo magiging rarampa-rampa dyan sa ano. Which is true kasi bata pa ako, people, inahanda nila yung kanilang susuotin.
Yes.
Kailangan mapansin sila.
Yes.
Talagang, ano siya talaga, it is, para siyang coming out party for a lot of girls na, tapos parang doon ng opportunity makabingwit ng mga papangasawa. Ganun.
Correct.
Kumari, naligaw siya, nawala sa kasama niya yung pamilya nila, dahil dami-dami tao, may humablot na pala sa kamay niyang ganun.
Sir Andy, another thing yung mga taga-baryo na nakipagtanim ng palay for a week, they will save their money. They will save their money para lang makabili ng bagong damit. So from baryo, bababa sila ng bayan, sa baryo nila, so medyo malayo-layo, bababa ng bayan during All Saints Day, suot-suot ang magandang damit, yung bagong damit na kita nila from pagtatanim, yon. Para tama yung sinabi mo, minsan nagiging opportunity din siya para manligaw. Yung makakakita ka ng iba't ibang binata at dalaga sa sementeryo, di ba?
Ang tawag natin dyan sa Pampanga, kasi the next day, mababalitaan mo, hindi na umuwi yung dalaga o hindi na umuwi yung binata, di ba? Ang word namin doon, tinakasla. Tinakasla. Literally, tumakas. tumakas kasi dito sa atin strict ang mga parents, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Literally talaga, tatakas yun. Tatakas at magtatanan talaga. Tumakas talaga. Yun ang
Yeah.
word natin, di ba? So,
Yeah.
medyo may pagka-negative yung word kasi nagtanan sa Tagalog. Pusitara sa
Mm.
Kapampangan.
Mm-mm.
Pero, a more common term is takas. Para talaga nakabilanggo, di ba?
I have another word for that.
What?
Medaon niya.
May daon. Same thing with the daon.
Yeah,
So,
medaon niya.
in-offer talaga. In-offer ang sarili. Ooh, wide open arms.
Yeah.
Ganun. Oh, wow. Amazing. Wow. Grabe. Anyway, okay, that's doon naman sa terms natin. Iba-iba talaga. Magkaiba ang the two languages, Tagalog and Kapampangan. Both are languages. But in the way we use our language, let's say for example, one example is, pag kumatok daw ang Tagalog sa pinto, ang sasabihin niya, tao po, tao po, tao po. Ang Kapampangan, hindi tao po ang sasabihin niya. Diyos po, this po, this po. Literally, it means, I come in the name of God. It's a shortcut, of course, no? So, ang layo ng use of language nito ang dalawa. Ito, tao po. Ito, I come in the name of God. I don't know how that came about. Okay, another example before I go to the next question. Sabihin nung, bata, ano ginagawa ng nanay mo? Nagluluto po. Sa Tagalog. Sa Kapampangan, anak, naning gagawa ng imamu, maneseya. Okay, to translate it, it says, bata, anong ginagawa ng nanay mo in Kapampangan? She's nurturing. That's the word we use. She's nurturing the family. That's the word for cooking that we use. Anyway, sa tawag natin sa mga patay in Kapampangan, we call them meangubie. Kindly explain the meaning of that word, meangubie.
All right. Meyangu bie. Well, it's a term or a word of endearment that we accord to our loved ones who went on to the afterlife. Among us Kapampangans, we do not only celebrate their lives when they were still with us, we also celebrate their afterlife. Tayo pong Kapampangan nga naniniwala na hindi naman tapos ang lahat kapag namatay ang isang tao. Bagkus may buhay pa na naghihintay pagkatapos, which we also celebrate because it is in afterlife where the Meangubie can experience fullness and freedom. Pinaniniwalaan po kasi natin mga Kapampangan na kapag namatay na ang tao, Meyangu nebie, ing meto nga tao, ang paniwala natin, nagiging malaya na siya. Kung namatay siya sa sakit at karamdaman, ibig sabihin, malaya na siya sa pain. Malaya na siya sa sakit at karamdaman. Namatay siyang mahirap, ang ibig sabihin, malaya na siya sa kahirapan. So, we believe that it is in afterlife that yung patay o yung meangubie can experience fullness and freedom. Actually, it's two words. From the two words, angu, meaning to take out something, and bie, meaning life. So it is basically the separation of the soul from our earthly or physical body. Pero tayong mga Kapampangan nga, hindi lang natin siya basta tinatawag na nawalan ng buhay, o kaya namatay, o kaya patay. Ang tawag natin, meyangu biye. Kasi we believe in the life after the separation of the soul from the earthly or physical body. And the destination of that soul is more fulfilling and more fulfilling, and of course offers freedom to the dead.
All right. Thank you. Okay. May mga pamahiin tayo sa mga patay. Alam ko madami yan. Madami. Bawal maglaro yung mga bata. Bawal maligo. Bawal maligo. Bawal magwalis. Bawal magwalis. Bawal. Basta ang daming bawal. And then, alam ko, meron pa. Pag yung rota ng libing, hindi pwedeng rotang hindi kailangan may particular na rota yung libing kung saan idadaan yung patay. Kung saan street yan, hindi pwedeng mga ganito. Please explain. I myself, I do not quite understand some of these practices.
Marami. Tayo mga Kapampangan, marami talaga tayo mga pinaniniwalaan na ganyan. Pamahiin o yung, di ba? Tama ka, kanina sabi mo bawal magwalis. Actually, hindi lang bawal magwalis, Sir Andy. Bawal maglinis. Kung ilang araw na nakaburol ang patay, bawal maglinis. Bawal maglinis kasi pinaniniwalaan baka may susunod. Kapag binrake mo yon na habang nakaburol ay naglilinis ka, baka may susunod sa patay. At kapag naman nilalabas na ang kabaong, natatandaan ko, kinukwento din ito ng mga magulang ko. Pag nilalabas na yung kabaong, kailangan may nakasunod naman na nagwawalis. Try to imagine that. Pag nakaburol, bawal maglinis, bawal magwalis. The moment na nilabas na yung kabaong, dapat may nakasunod sa likod at nagwawalis na siya. And what is that for? Para maitaboy naman ang anumang sakit o di kaya bad spirit. Meron din naman na kailangan daw may matirang kamag-anak na nakadungaw sa may bintana habang nilalabas ang kabaong ng patay. Naikwento din sa akin ito na hindi dapat din yung pinaghigaan o yung kama ng patay mailabas din para daw masiguro na meron siyang magandang buhay o kaya naman masiguro ang kanyang kaligayahan sa kabilang buhay. It happened that because of this interview, nabasa ko ngayon yung article din ni Sir Robbie Tantingco and Sir Alex Castro na parang na-validate ito yung mga kinuwento din sa akin ng mga magulang ng mga lolo't lola na ganoon nga yung kama ng patay kailangan ilalabas siya pagkalabas ng burol at mind you Sir Andy ilalabas siya doon pa nga idadaan siya sa may bintana kasi nga para maiwasan naman na may dagli ang sumunod sa kanya. Marami ito yung pagbabasag ng banga para maiwasan din na mayroong sumunod. Yung paglilipat ng mga bata, di ba? Bata sa kabaong bago man lang ilibing yung patay. Kasi para hindi siya balikan o kaya para hindi siya bisitahin. Tayo up to this time, di ba, sa mga Kapampangan, pinaniniwalaan talaga natin ito. And we get to practice this up to this time. Naalala ko nung namatay yung mother ko, lahat ng mga apo niya na maliliit, talagang kung ilan yon. Kung ilan, hindi mo na sasabihin, may 5 ba dyan, kung ilan, talagang ililipat sila lahat. Ililipat. Tapos, hindi dapat sasayad ang paa. Sasayad ang paa or I think any part of the body, doon sa mismong coffin. Hindi sasayad. Dapat talaga mailipat siya ng buong ganon at mayroong sasalo sa kabila. Parte ito lahat ng pamahiin na pinaniniwalaan nating mga Kapampangan. Mukhang kahit naman sa ibang kahit sa mga Tagalog siguro o sa ibang parte sa Pilipinas, they also believe in some of these pamahiin that we have, no? And kasi pamahiin sila. So, tapos up to this time, pinangahawakan natin sila. We even hand them down, no? Sa mga anak-anak, kasi ang laging sinasabi ng Kapampangan, wala namang mawawala. Wala namang mawawala. Bakit hindi gawin? Bakit hindi
Nawawala lang ang aking sanity yan. Ganun. Nakakabaliw. Ang dami-dami kayang daming kailangan sundan. Tapos marami pang mga ano yan. Yung mga kapitbahay, yung mga marites na kapitbahay. Uy, yan, dapat sundan mo yan. Uy, dapat yan. Ang daming nakikialam. Yan.
Tama.
Oo, kasi kung minsan kasi nagiging desensationalize the superstitious belief. Yung tipong tinatakot ka na ganito ang mangyayari pag hindi mo ginawa yan. Ganun. So, but then ako, I value traditions. That's why I'm a cultural worker. But sometimes, ayun, wala namang mawawala. Pero minsan may mga little things that are already beyond logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, Mildred. Alam mo naman, Kapampangan tayo, no? Matakaw. Matakaw tayo sobra. We really value our cuisine, our food. And even during, syempre, pag may patay, and during All Saints Day. During All Saints Day, I grew up noticing that there's one particular food na nakikita ko talaga. Ano lang talaga. Tuwing All Saints Day sa Santa Rita. At yan ay walang iba kung hindi ang okoy.
Yaran.
Okwi or okoy.
Okoy.
Yes, why? Why okoy? And are there food traditions where you come from in Pampanga na distinctly for All Saints Day, All Souls Day, or for the dead?
Sir Andy, kami sa Magalang, alam mo, ako ngayon ko lang nalaman nga na okoy pala or okwi sa inyo.
Yeah.
Lalo na nung buhay pa yung mother ko, yung mga lolo't lola namin. Palitaw at saka ginataan. Yung tinatawag nating sinantan. Palitaw, ginataan at saka panara. And then, natatanong ko rin, bakit? Kasi usually nakikita ko yun, lalo na yung palitaw, halimbawa man, pag Christmas, di ba? Kaya naman pag wala kang baon sa eskwelahan, pagluluto ka ng palitaw ng nanay para lang may baon, kinabukasan, titinda mo. Anyway, so kung titignan natin yung characteristics ng palitaw, at saka nung sinantano, ginataan, para bang they characterize the clannish, yung character na malagkit, madikit. Kasi diba kapag daon, no, kapag undas,
Nakikita-kita yung buong pamilya.
Exactly. In
Reunion.
fact, it's a reunion. In fact, even yung family members o kaya yung relatives na hindi nakarating noong burol, pupunta sila sa Campo Santo, pupunta sila sa sementeryo. Doon sila pay ng respect nila sa departed loved ones. So,
wait. I need to jump. Okay, this is very important kasi ito, ngayon ko lang to dito ko lang to na experience. May isang bayan dito sa Pampanga. Hindi lang isang araw ang All Saints Day. 9 days. 9 days sila nagtitirik ng kandila, pumupunta sa sementeryo. My God! How? Hindi sila nagtatrabaho for 9 days? At talagang ang laki ng budget nila for candles and flowers? Bakit 9 days, Mildred?
Sir Andy, you're referring to Betis, no? Sa Betis yan, na. They call it the annual novena for the departed loved ones. Tama yon. This lasts for 9 days. In 2016, Ruston Banal wrote an article about this one. Nag-interview siya, 89 years old. So, noong 2016, 89 ito, kung buhay pa yung na-interview ni Ruston, ibig sabihin, ilang taon na siya ngayon? mga 97 years old kung buhay pa siya. Isa siyang devotee. Yung 9 days nga na novena, annual novena sa Betis. And Usually, this starts with a mass at the St. James Parish Church, and then there will be a general prayer for the dead, the official start of the novena, upon which the parishioners will then proceed to the cemetery, and then the parish priest would then lead the procession with the sacristans carrying the cereales or a cross and a candelaria. In the cemetery, there will be a bendition. Tingnan mo yung yung lahat ng ginagawang ito. There will be a bendition with the graves blessed with holy water and another prayer in the chapel. And the novena culminates in a mass in a church. Now, ang tanong, wala bang mga trabaho ito? Kasi noong mga panahon na yon, usually ang sumasali sa novena na to, Sir Andy, mga plain housewives. Wala naman talagang mga trabaho. So they really got time to finish, to start and to finish the entire novena. Imaginein mo, sabi nga nila, wala pang ilaw noon, walang elektrisidad, ang ginagamit nila kandila. So they usually go to the cemetery at 4 in the afternoon. Pag daw dumaan yung tren at 6 p.m. at mailawan sila, ang ibig sabihin kailangan na nilang umuwi kung tapos na silang magdasal. But ngayon, kung i-compare natin sa 9 days na novena sa Betis, ginagawa pa rin siya. It's still being practiced. Pero baka hindi na katulad ng dati na marami talaga, dagsa-dagsa ang mga tao. Kasi nga, ngayon, pati mga asawang babae, nagtatrabaho na. You're on mute, Sir Andy.
As a Tomasian,
Opo.
how does all this resonate to you? Bilang may Tomasian breeding ka, sa lahat ng practices na to, anong kahulugan nito sa iyo?
Sir Andy, as a Thomasian, therefore I would like to quote St. Thomas Aquinas. It says here, to one who has faith, no explanation is necessary.
Oh,
To one without faith,
oh
no
wow.
explanation is possible. Which
That
means,
explains it. Okay, yeah.
which
Yeah.
means our faith leads us to traditions that we cherish and still hold true. As a Kapampangan, respecting the memories of the dead and valuing them by sharing such beautiful tradition with the world define who we are. Let us therefore continue this, and as we continue living our lives, let us also continue to value the memories and celebrate the lived lives of our loved ones who went on to afterlife, until such time that people all over the world would also get to cherish and appreciate what we do as Kapampangans.
Oh, wow! Ang ganda-ganda! Grabe! Grabe, ang galing. I'm so glad that, my first hosting job for Tomasino Kapampangan, ikaw ang guest. Grabe. Inilit lang kasi talaga ako ni Dr. Mariano. Kasi,
And I'm glad that you're the host.
Ang Halloween daw yung mukha ko. Salba yung si Dr. Mariano. Anyway, oh my God, ang ikli ng time natin. I thought, my God, 1 hour na lumipas. Mildred, anyway, maraming salamat. Napakikli ng oras, grabe. Napakaganda ng interview natin. Even I was amazed. Kapampangan na ako, ah. Ang galing mo, Mildred. I'm so happy, we were able to get you. Anyway, sandali lang, Mildred. May mga kailangan tayong pasalamatan. We'd like to wish our class of 2024 of the UST College of Nursing all the best of God's blessings as they take their nursing licensure exams this coming weekend. Good luck sa inyong lahat. The Distinguished Tomasian Alumni Awards Night will be held on November 30, 2024, 6 to 9 p.m. at the Buenaventura G. Paredes OP Tomasian Alumni Center. Sigurado dapat ka dyan, nominated ka dyan for Tomasian Awards. Congratulations sa lahat ng awardees. The UST Faculty of Pharmacy Alumni Association and Scholarship Foundation Incorporated announces its upcoming homecoming on Saturday, December 7, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Same, sa Alumni Center po ito. Save the date, guys. Faculty of Pharmacy. Dear friends, thank you for joining us today. Do watch Bridges again on Tuesday for another exciting episode. Do stay with us as we continue to share with you the blessings of Bridges. Do subscribe to our UST Tomasian Alumni Community YouTube channel and Facebook page. The past episodes of Bridges can be watched in our YouTube channel and FB page. Ayun po mga kaibigan, Mildred Mariano, salamat po sa BioWater Purified Drinking Water for sponsoring our show and the Tomasinong Kapampangan. Here at Bridges, we do not build walls, we build connections to reach out to one another. We build strong bridges of faith, bridges of hope, and bridges of love. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Mabuhay. Maraming salamat. Mildred, grabe, ang galing mo. Napaka insightful. Ang ganda. Sobra grabe. We can make a documentary about all this. The thing we talked about. Anyway, sana ma-invite ka pa namin sa susunod na mga programa dito sa Bridges. Maraming salamat.
Thank you po. Thank you. My pleasure.
Yes. So, Philippines and the rest of the world, maraming salamat po and good night.